Cut off people who torment others due to their inferiority complex. There are people who are prone to envy and jealousy. Cut off those who try to bring others down by envying and being jealous due to their own inferiority complex. Being friends with them can be emotionally draining and a waste of energy. There are many people who seem to know and dig into my personal struggles, like ghosts, and subtly criticize me. No matter how long you've been friends with someone, if you become friends with someone like this, you won't be able to express your innermost feelings. You should be friends with someone who makes you stable rather than someone who drains your energy. Cut off people who complain and make you unhappy. Such people will never be satisfied even in good circumstances. Stay away from complainers. If you're always around people who complain, you'll also become a negative person. Instead, you should be close to someone who respects and learns from everyone they meet. After meeting someone, if you don't feel good when you get home, it's a sign that you may not get along well with that person, and that you may need to end the relationship. Beware of people who only brag about themselves nowadays. There are many people who meet up just to show off their money and luxury items. In contrast, people who actually have those things usually don't boast about them. In other words, there is a high likelihood that the words of those who boast are full of empty talk and lies. There are even people who, while claiming to have spare money, refuse to pay for their meals. In the Talmud, it is said that the greatest punishment for a liar is that even when they tell the truth, people will not believe them. This is why it is difficult to trust the opinions of people who boast a lot. Humans have one mouth and two ears for a reason. The meaning is to listen twice as much as speaking directly. Boasting behavior can be a signal of lack of humility and empathy. People who constantly boast about themselves may be more interested in appearing superior than building true relationships. Whether it's a colleague at work or a friend, unless they are family, it is best to maintain an appropriate distance and listen to others' opinions rather than boasting. Get closer to people who know how to listen to others' opinions. Stay away from people who curse others. The Talmud says that speaking ill of others is not good for three people: the speaker, the listener, and the one being spoken about. If you know someone who frequently curses others, it's best to cut ties with them as soon as possible. People who curse others in front of you are highly likely to curse you in front of others. Even more harmful are those who try to sow discord between you and others. Negative people with an arrogant and mocking attitude should be kept at a distance, because their negativity can be contagious. If you encounter such people, it's best to end the relationship. Speak of other people's good qualities and praise them, and stay close to those who bring you energy, while avoiding those who drain you every time you meet them. Some people are so busy sighing and complaining when they meet others that it's a waste to live happily, even if they meet good people. It's enough to have just one friend who understands you well, no matter what flaws they may have. Keep such a friend by your side, because living alone is better than being with old friends who are not good for you. In fact, good people can be found anywhere, so cut off those who take advantage of others, and avoid those who seek to exploit them. Some cowardly and despicable people are strong against the strong, and weak against the weak. The kinder you become, the more the world sees you as easy prey. In our lives, we often meet people who try to use us. There's no need to lower oneself to please such people. Many of them think they can be rude even when we treat them well. People who criticize and exploit others for their own gain should definitely be cut off. Cut off those who don't appreciate your kindness. There are also people who don't apologize for their mistakes. They lack empathy and consideration for others. They are self-centered and don't consider others' perspectives. Those who don't feel sorry for their mistakes are fooling themselves. As you get older, be wise in choosing the people you associate with. Cut off those who turn away when you're going through tough times. Among the friends you've known since childhood, there are often many who turn their backs on you when you're in difficult situations. In such cases, no matter how close you are, you shouldn't spend time with that person because they're someone who doesn't understand your position. Like a person's lifespan, there is also a lifespan for friendships. Moreover, just because a friendship has lasted a long time doesn't mean it's important. What's important is how well you get along with that person. even if you've only known them for a short time. When I'm in need, oftentimes a friend who you've recently made will provide help. If there are people who only come to you when they have free time, but not when you need them, make sure to keep your distance from them. And if someone insists that only their opinion is correct, avoid them. Some people are extremely stubborn and insist that only their own opinions are correct, ignoring the opinions of others, and refusing to listen. Among these people, there are those who are very receptive to praise, thinking that it is their right to receive such treatment. People with this mindset do not respect others and only assert their own rights. It is not necessary to try to change people who insist that only their own opinions are correct. Since people are not easily changed, it is better to avoid them. When you are wondering whether to maintain a relationship with an old friend, remember that there are usually friends who have been together since childhood. When you think back to your school days, you have many good memories. You were close friends who got along well. However, as you become an adult, you usually clash more often. There is no need to force a relationship just because you have known someone for a long time. It is natural and normal for common ground to decrease as individuals grow and experience financial and environmental differences. Disappointment in others often stems from different perspectives, rather than grand reasons. It can be disheartening to feel like you are the only one making an effort to be considerate towards someone else. It is also tough on the heart to feel like you are not being respected by a friend. Having different values does not make someone a bad friend. If you are considering whether or not to continue a relationship with someone, examine if there is mutual respect in each other's hearts. Stay away from people who excessively regret the past. There are people who live in the past and regret the years they've spent clinging onto it. Those who regret things that have already ended are the most foolish people. The Talmud says, reflect on your wrongdoings, but do not regret them. Rather, regret the things you haven't tried. If you have a friend who only has negative thoughts and regrets, you should keep your distance. Life is lonely, and everyone feels a little lonely sometimes. You should stay away from rude people who do not keep their promises. No matter where you go, there are rude and impolite people. These people may not keep their promises to you either, and some of them may not even realize that they are rude, and think they are just being honest. Don't mistake the rudeness of such people for my sensitivity. It's not just my sensitive personality, there are clearly problems with the other person. Also, you should avoid impolite people who bring up my unpleasant past and talk about it. If it's difficult to suddenly cut off a relationship, you should keep your distance. Avoiding frequent meetings and focusing on other human relationships or hobbies can bring me closer to better connections. The Talmud says that the person who is loved by others is the one who praises everyone. Stay away from people who spread rumors and criticize others. Spreading false rumors is more dangerous than murder. Murder may only kill one person, but false rumors can kill at least 3 people. Even if you haven't hit or directly harmed someone, speaking ill of others makes you a malicious and undesirable person. It's okay for others to praise you, but don't praise yourself with your own mouth, and don't just judge people based on their appearance or surface level. What's most important is what's inside. It's not the shell that's important, but what's inside. Just like how a fish can get caught by a hook in its mouth, a person's mouth is often the problem. If you try to be friends with someone without any flaws, you'll never have friends for life. Everyone has their own flaws. A truly strong and resilient person is someone who can even make me their friend. In this way, the Talmud is rich in wisdom about human relationships and ethics. Do not judge your friend until you have put yourself in their shoes. This statement reminds us of the importance of empathy and understanding in human relationships. It is important not to rush to judge others, and to try to think from the perspective of others. People who publicly insult others have no place in the world. This statement emphasizes the importance of treating others with dignity and respect. One should avoid actions that can harm or embarrass others. In relationships, it is important to cultivate empathy and affection. The world is a narrow bridge, and the most important thing is not to be afraid. This statement, which is emphasized in the Talmud, encourages us to have courage and build human relationships without fear, even if the future is uncertain. Even if it is difficult and challenging to form good relationships, we should strive to do so. One must make an effort to build relationships based on trust with oneself and others. All of the information I have written and introduced earlier are just a few examples of the numerous wisdom on human relationships found in the Talmud. The Talmud provides rich guidance on how to establish healthy and meaningful relationships with others. It is a guide to life that provides valuable insights to individuals who wish to improve their interpersonal skills and live a more ethical and fulfilling life.